We will wait for hi everyone. We'll wait for a few 1 minutes, okay, for others to join, and then we'll get started.
Yes.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Rajesh Bujbal, Director Digital Services here at Realtus Technologies, a global technology consulting firm that partners across SAP and Salesforce to bring together customer experience and technology in healthcare, real estate, with our offices in over 5 countries. Our offering includes implementation, consulting, development, design, and post-go live managed services support to customers all across the globe. Today's session topic is how to choose the right RPA tool for your organization, which will be delivered by my team member, Swanan Bharat. So I'll just briefly introduce about Swanan. Swanan has been working in the RPA industry and RPA domain for over last 8+ years, where he has designed and developed 40+ bot processes for shipping and logistics, insurance, retail, manufacturing, and pharmaceutical domain. He has a strong experience with multiple RPA tools like Automation Anywhere, Microsoft Power Automate, Crayon, etc. He has automated top ERP tools like SAP, Salesforce, Oracle EPS, and all kinds of websites in his experience. Now, I would like to hand over control to my colleague Swanan to take us through the today's session. And before we start the session, I would just like to request everyone, if you have any questions on any of the things related to the topic, you can put your questions in a chat window. That's Q&A window you will see on your screen. You can put it over there, and then we'll take those questions towards the end of the session. Okay? Now, Swanan, you can go with your session.
Yep. Thank you, Rajesh. Okay, hello everyone. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. So, as already Rajesh introduced myself, so I will start with today's agenda. So we have a huge audience for this session. So as always, we start with the RPA introduction. For a new people, so we will start with what is RPA. Then next we will cover that do we really need RPA. Then we will go for why RPA tools are required. Then we will compare the RPA tools, and then at the end, we will recommend the best RPA for any organization based on our analysis. So this is agenda for today's webinar. Okay. RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation, where robotic means the entity that has the capability to mimic human actions. Process means the sequence of steps that lead to meaningful activity of task is called a process, and automation means the task that happen automatically without human intervention. So whatever the task we do on a daily basis, where we use a number of application in our day-to-day life, so we are automating that using RPA automations. So in any organization, you have common departments like a finance, HR, IT, etc. So each and every department, they have their own processes, like a finance has account and payable, procurement and payroll. Then HR has a recruitment, onboarding process, then learning and development process. So RPA tools we use to automate this kind of process in these departments. So the next question is that, do we really need RPA? So where we will check that what are the typical process in any organization. So in any organization, we have a number of departments like operations. So in operations, we do like a product keeping, inventory management. So there are a number of business operation we do on our regular basis in many organizations. Then there is the finance department where we can we have multiple processes like account payable, account receivable, billing and credit, then taxation, report generation, governance, procurement, order to cash. So this kind of a process we can automate using any RPA tools. Now we have the marketing. So in marketing department, we need to put some campaign related information. We need to collect some information for analysis. So where we can use to do more marketing on a different websites. IT support. So in IT support, we have asset management. Then we can install the number of softwares or application on any machine. We have Active Directory features where we can add new users in organization. We can provide a separate access for each application. So our IT team do this kind of tasks on a daily basis. Now commercial. So just for an example, your company selling durable consumer products that handles large amount of stocks and deal with the extensive distribution. So to deal with that, we need a number of applications to maintain such kind of information. So to process this high value information, we can also use the automation using a different RPA tool. HR. So in HR, we have attendance management process and payroll system. We have onboarding process. So for this kind of HR process, we use a different application to maintain resource related information. If we are hiring new resources, then we search their information and maintain at centralized location like a resume and other related information. So this kind of information we can keep at a centralized location. Then we will continue with that. Do we really need RPA? Where we will say what type of software application we are using in our organization. So we need to check that in our organization, are we using some ERP application like SAP, then Salesforce, then Microsoft Dynamics, Inform, Oracle, then Workday. So these are the top ERP tool in the market where these RPA tool cover near about 60% of market share. Then in desktop application, we have Microsoft Excel, we have Microsoft Word, we have Outlook application, we have PDF reader. So these are the common application we use on daily basis, which we can automate using any RPA tool. There is one more thing like a web cloud, web applications or cloud application like Microsoft Azure is there, then HubSpot is a web application. We have Oracle Cloud, then we have Microsoft, that's LinkedIn product. In legacy application, we have number of mainframe application. So mainframe is a very old technology where a number of applications develop before we can say from 1960. So there are a number of applications still working in the market, and we can automate those mainframe application using any RPA tool. So you can see here, these are the common applications that are well defined, effort intensive tasks and repetitively used for manual process. So we need to check that are these applications are available in our organization which we can automate. Then we need to ask one important question. to ourselves, like how many resources are working on this process. Like if you have multiple application for multiple process, so it means you have a big workforce to do these activities. Now you need to calculate the number of resources and number of hours spent on the mundane work. If your team spends a minimum of 100 hours per month, then you should pick those processes for automation. The people plus infrastructure, when I say infrastructure means application, these are the major key factor to decide whether to go with the RPA or not to go with the RPA. So we can decide based on this important information. Sometimes you have fewer resources, but they are working on a low volume but high value processes. So in that case, you can consider going with the RPA automation. Top RPA tools in the market. So according to the Forrester and Gartner's report, these are the top RPA tools in the market, where Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Microsoft Power Automate, MuleSoft, ServiceNow, WorkFusion, NewGen, Blue Prism. So these are the common RPA tool used in the market, and Gartner and Forrester are the market research and advisory companies which provide actionable insight, guidance, and consulting in various domains. So as per them, these are the top RPA tool in the market. So these all are the commercial RPA tools, which is declared by the top Gartner and Forrester. Now, when we say that according to the Forrester and Gartner report, so on the what basis they decided these are the top RPA tools. So you can see the current offering by RPA tools. So when I say current offering by RPA tool, means the general capabilities which are available in all RPA tools, then deployment, operations, and development features. Then what kind of security or governance features provided by RPA tools? Then automation discovery or evaluation and portfolios. These kind of features should be part of these RPA tool. Then market presence of tool, like we can say a revenue of that specific organization which providing this RPA facility. Then number of users in the market. So like we have UiPath or Automation Anywhere. So Gartner and Forrester, they check the revenue, their number of users in the market, and based on that information, they decided these are the leaders or these are the strong performers. Also, Gartner check their strategy. So when I say strategy, so they check their visions, their innovations, and roadmap for the upcoming year. So based on this all information, Gartner declared UiPath is the leader. Then Pegasus team, you can see the UiPath. Now here on x-axis, you can see that weaker strategy, then stronger strategy. On y-axis, you can see weaker current offering and stronger current offering. Now you can see here challengers, contender, strong performers, and leader. So these are the tools which are the strong strategy with the strong current offering and leader in RPA. So UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Pegasus team, Blue Prism are the leader. Wherein strong performer, Edgework, NICE, Microsoft Power Automate, WorkFusion, ServiceNow, SAP, Appian. These are the strong performers. And IBM, MuleSoft, NewGen, and Nintex. These are the contenders in the RPA market. Okay, so when we say why we are going with the commercial RPA tools, so we do not have only commercial RPA tool, but we have other options like open source RPA tool. But when we say open source tool, means they provide limited RPA feature. You can see here we have few frameworks like a robot framework which can use with the Python, .NET, Java, etc. If we are implementing the RPA with the open source framework, then any developer with the programming knowledge can implement the RPA. But this can be a feature as well as it can be a drawback, because most of the RPA tool provide low code or no code features. You can see the Tasty. So Tasty, it is a built on a .NET framework. So it's a good to use with a C#.NET or any Microsoft technology. So this provide a better feature with the Microsoft programming languages, or you can say a Microsoft framework. We have Tag UI. This is framework can use with the multiple programming languages, and they provide easy multiple libraries to automate your business processes. OpenBots and RoboCorp are the open source, but there are a few features that are premium where you need to pay according to their different plan, like a monthly plan or pay as you go plan. So we can see here pros of open source RPA tool as well as cons. So common features are available by default, but if we need some advanced feature, then we need to write a separate logic using Python or Java or .NET to use that specific feature, like a scheduling related feature, some custom security feature. So we need to write this logic with this programming language. Support for multiple programming language, so it's a benefit, but we need more time to develop those applications, as well as we need more resources to do that. Customization is easy for any new feature. Need to maintain version control for each new feature to avoid any challenges. Any organization can go with these tools, but expert resource and support are costly because these are the open source and we need a expert in .NET or C# or Python languages. So we need to spend on the resources. So programming knowledge is mandatory and minimum information is available publicly. So maybe you need to connect with their team, like with the Robocop team or OpenBots team, and they will help you to implement that particular feature. Okay, that's feature of RPA tools. So maximum RPA tools are no-code tools, and due to this reason, the development time is minimum as compared to the any application. So these are the feature of all RPA tools, like a client server architecture. So the client server application provide more benefit for development, deployment, and maintaining the information at centralized location. So this is an important feature provided by maximum RPA tools. Then if you want to analyze the reports, like they provide the different charts to get the proper updates on the success and failure of bots. So you can get that information directly without writing on a separate logic with the help of RPA tools. Now scheduling. So scheduling, it is the most important feature because you need to, you're implementing the RPA because you can run the bot at any time. So you don't need a separate person to run that bot. So we can schedule bot on hourly basis, daily basis, monthly basis. We can put the custom logic, like a first day of each month, first week of each month. We can customize our logic here. So RPA tool provide this kind of feature directly. So these features are by default. But if you are using open source or any programming or any framework, so you need to put the separate logic for the customization. Then scalable. So change is inevitable, whether expected or unexpected. It is a part of life. If anyone want to change in current automation or in current bot, then RPA tool provide better scalability as compared to any framework or any programming language. So RPA tool by default provides the better feature. So that's why people are preferring to choose a top RPA tool for developing or automating the processes. Then security. So security, when we say security, then we need to maintain all information, like if we are automating any SAP application. So to log in that application, we need a user credential, username and password. So whatever the data we are processing, we need to keep that at our end. So we need that kind of security with the RPA tool. So all RPA tool provide a number of feature where we can maintain this kind of information, which is accessible only while running the bot. Now version control. So version control, if you're developing any software application, it's not mean that it will work without any issue. So most of the RPA tool provide version control for bots. You can also connect with the GitHub or GitLab. So this kind of features is by default provided by the any RPA tool. We are comparing the top 3 RPA tools where each tool is a low-code RPA tool. Microsoft Power Automate, they by default provide 2 features where you can, the first one is the Microsoft Flow, which provide a direct connection with the premium connectors. So Microsoft Power Automate, they directly provide a 500 plus connector, which help to directly connect with the multiple applications like a Salesforce, or you can connect with a Google Drive or multiple databases. So this kind of feature is very helpful to do the backend automation. If you want to do the UI automation, for that Microsoft provide desktop automation, and you can easily automate any desktop application. Like if you want to send an email, or if you want to read some PDF, or automate any web application. So you can directly use the Power Automate with the desktop automation feature. So here you can see these are the RPA features like a learning. So Microsoft Power Automate is easy to learn and understand. If we are comparing with the Automation Anywhere, so Automation Anywhere has a script-based and flow-based implementation. So if you want to implement that, you must know some scripting knowledge or basic programming knowledge. Support for flow as well as multiple programming like a Java, .NET. So UiPath provides this kind of feature inbuilt. For architecture, so Microsoft Power Automate provide cloud-only feature, where Automation Anywhere provide cloud and on-premises. So few organizations prefer to go with the on-premises, and few prefer to go with the cloud. So Automation Anywhere and UiPath, they provide both feature where Power Automate. So this is, we can say this is one kind of drawback, because Microsoft Power Automate, they do not support for the on-premises. At application level, Microsoft Power Automate support for automating all kind of application, same as Automation Anywhere and UiPath. Automation, so UI and backend automation we can do easily with the Microsoft Power Automate. UI and backend automation we can do with the Automation Anywhere and UiPath too. Here we can use the API thing to do the backend automation. With the Power Automate, they directly provide a few connectors which are very easy to implement and build automation. Technology. So Microsoft Power Automate, they use a complete Microsoft .NET framework. So they are completely based on the Microsoft product. With the Automation Anywhere, they use a Java programming as well as Microsoft-based technology. With the UiPath, they use a multiple technologies like a Java, .NET, Python. So all kind of framework they use to build this UiPath application programming. So programming knowledge is not necessary. You can directly use a Microsoft connector where you can create the flow and you can directly implement. But if you want to use or automate UI automation, then you can go with you must need some scripting knowledge or programming knowledge. With the Automation Anywhere, you required scripting knowledge because you need to put some conditions. So programming knowledge are required with the Automation Anywhere. So both features are supported by UiPath. So that's the most important benefit of UiPath. We can automate with the multiple programming as well as we can use both feature. So reliability. So Power Automate is the most reliable tool in the market. When we say Automation Anywhere, so Automation Anywhere is not reliable in some cases where we are automating some old applications, some legacy applications. So Automation Anywhere is not support as compared to the Power Automate or UiPath. If we are automating some web application, so some scenario UiPath is not support properly. So in that situation, we need to put some custom solution with other programming skill, and then we can use UiPath, or we can use these kind of programming skill to automate those processes. In case of costing, so Microsoft Power Automate license is cheaper as compared to the any other RPA tool in the market. You can say $5 to $40 per month per user license. Where with the Automation Anywhere, we need a $750 per month, but you will get a stable version in the market. With the UiPath, it's a $420 per month. For the stable version, you will get all these features with the UiPath. This is the cloud version. With the $750 per month, you will get a cloud version. So this is the costing, and you can clearly see that Microsoft Power Automate is a cheaper than any other RPA tool. So this is our main agenda. Why we are which is the best RPA tool for your organization. So now here we are comparing three different size of organization, like a small size organization, mid size organization, and large size organization. If you are in organization where 100 to 200 employees, you can check that there are lots of manual work, and each member are overloaded with the multiple tasks. If use of Excel, Outlook, and multiple web application on regular basis. So in that situation, you can go for the Microsoft Power Automate or any other open source RPA tool. So with the small scale organization, if you have minimum budget, even in that situation, you can go for the Microsoft Power Automate, or you can invest in open source. But when you say open source, you need a means the development time will be more, and you may need an expert resource to automate that process. In mid-size organization, if your organization has 300 to 1,000 employees, you have lots of manual activities in finance, commercial, and operation domain. If you have a minimum 1 to 2 standard ERP or any business application like SAP, Salesforce, Oracle EBS, etc., so you can go with the Microsoft Power Automate, OpenBots, or RoboCorp. So in OpenBots and RoboCorp, you may need to pay for few features, like if you want to implement some AI ML related feature. So you can do that by paying or charging for OpenBots features. For large size organization, if in your organization 1,000 plus employees are working, and you have lots of manual activities in all domain, you have multiple standard ERP or any business applications like SAP, Salesforce, Oracle, if you have multiple websites and any kind of applications which you use on day-to-day basis. So you can go with the Automation Anywhere, UiPath, or Blue Prism, or WorkFusion. So there are many organizations, they are going with the multiple RPA tools. Just for an example, Automation Anywhere has one feature which is better in UiPath. So large scale organizations are ready to invest in both RPA tools. So I saw few organizations are using Automation Anywhere, Microsoft Power Automate, few organizations using Automation Anywhere and UiPath. So both or multiple RPA tool, means large scale, are using this kind of multiple RPA tool in their organization. So what we are concluding here, all RPA tools suggested by Forrester and Gartner are the best tool for the large size organization, as they all are expensive and need more infrastructure to set up the environment. But you can go for the Microsoft Power Automate, as the license cost is around 50% less than any other RPA tool with a similar kind of features. Okay, that's it from my end. Rajesh, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Anand, for the session. It was nice to walk through the details. So, request everyone, if you have any questions, please put it in a question and answer that chat box. So, Anand, we have a couple of questions already received from the team, from our participants. So, maybe you can answer on that. So, first question is, which RPA tools do you prefer based on the experience? Okay. So, can you elaborate on this?
Okay, so I'm developing. I'm working as a developer or solution architect from last 7 to 8 years. But as a development point of view, Automation Anywhere is the best RPA tool in the market. But as a business point of view, Microsoft Power Automate is the best because it's cheaper than any other RPA tool in the market, as well as you use a Microsoft Excel, or you can say you use email. So Outlook, then multiple email feature, you have SQL Server, you use a number of Active Directory features. So those features are all feature of Microsoft product. So if you have the Microsoft Power Automate, then it will be easy to connect with these applications. So when you have Microsoft product and Microsoft application, then integration is easy. So I will prefer to go with the Microsoft Power Automate as compared to any other. But yeah, I love the developing the application with the automation anywhere or UiPath. So these are the top tools, but yeah, I prefer Microsoft Power Automate as an individual.
Then next question is on about the open source tools. This question is that have you used any open source tool, and what was the scenario which was not covered in the typical tools for them?
Okay, so suppose we have few features like for analytics and all those things. So if we are using open source, so there are very few information provided by open source tool. If we need to put that logic using any programming language, so we need to put that logic and call with the open source tool. So there is multiple dependency on the external external codings, just like a Java, .NET. So we need to use that to design the application or design the bot. Okay, so that's why people are avoid to go with the open source application. But if they have good framework, like we can say open bots, they provide a better feature. Tag UI, they provide a better feature. So in that situation, people can go with those tools.
Okay, thanks. Because we are already slightly over our time window. So if you have any further questions, you can send it over the mail, and we'll get that answer over to you over the mail. So with this, we can conclude this session. Thanks, Anand. Thanks everyone for your time and making taking some time from your busy schedule to attend this. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.